Our world is built on stories. Stories our parents told us, tales passed down through generations, and facts we learned in school. But what if some of the most fundamental things we believe are completely wrong? What if the warnings that shaped our childhoods were based on nothing more than fiction? Today, we're putting common sense on trial. We will take a sledgehammer to 9 of the most stubborn myths that have persisted for centuries, revealing the shocking and often simple truth that's been hiding in plain sight. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew. Let's begin with a myth that turns panicked bystanders into accidental sources of harm: the deadly lie of swallowing your tongue. Picture a chaotic scene. A person collapses, their body caught in the violent, uncontrollable storm of a seizure. Panic fills the air, and then the myth takes over. You see hands frantically searching for a wallet, a spoon, anything to pry open the victim's clenched jaw. It's a scene of misguided heroism, a desperate attempt to stop something that was never happening in the first place. This 200-year-old myth has probably shattered more teeth than a bar fight. The truth is, swallowing your tongue is a biological impossibility. Your tongue is not a loose fish flopping around in your mouth. It is securely anchored to the floor of your mouth by a powerful tether called the frenulum. This strip of tissue acts like a biological chain, making it as impossible to swallow your tongue as it is to swallow your own knee while it's still attached to your leg. So what is actually happening during a seizure? The brain's electrical signals go haywire, causing muscles all over the body to contract erratically. This includes the muscles in the tongue. It may tense up or roll back, potentially obstructing the airway, but it cannot be swallowed. Your body, for all its quirks, is not that poorly designed. Every time a well-meaning person jams an object into a seizing person's mouth, they risk breaking teeth, fracturing the jaw, or causing the person to choke. The single biggest threat in that room becomes the person trying to help. The correct response is stupidly simple. Clear the immediate area of hard objects and gently cushion the person's head to protect it from injury. That's it. No heroic mouth diving required. From a myth that endangers lives, we move to one that simply endangers your peace and quiet. The knuckle-cracking arthritis apocalypse. Your mother warned you. Your teachers scolded you. Every pop and crack was met with the same dire prediction. Stop that, or you'll get arthritis. In a stunning display of scientific self-experimentation, a doctor named Donald Unger decided to put this myth to the ultimate test. For 60 years, this dedicated man cracked the knuckles on his left hand at least twice a day. His right hand he left completely pristine and uncracked, a scientific control group of one. For over 21,000 days, his left hand was a symphony of pops, while his right hand remained silent. After 6 decades of this one-sided habit, he had both hands medically examined and x-rayed. The result? Absolutely no difference, no arthritis, no joint damage. The myth was, quite literally, busted. So what is that satisfying popping sound? It's not your bones grinding into dust. Picture your finger joint as a tiny, sealed chamber filled with a lubricating liquid called synovial fluid. Dissolved within this fluid are gases. When you stretch or bend your finger, you pull the joint apart, rapidly increasing the volume of that chamber. The pressure plummets, and just like opening a soda can, the dissolved gases suddenly escape, forming a bubble. The pop you hear is the sound of that bubble collapsing almost instantly. It's a miniature implosion. You're simply popping internal bubble wrap. After you crack, it takes about 20 minutes for those gases to redissolve into the fluid, which is why you can't rapid-fire crack the same knuckle. Your body needs to reload the bubble gun. Let's move on to a myth forged in rust and fear: the tetanus terror. Every child who's ever played outside has heard the warning: watch out for rusty nails, or you'll get tetanus. This has led to a global misconception where we fear the orange, flaky substance itself. But rust has absolutely nothing to do with tetanus. Zero. Nava. You've been fearing the wrong villain this entire time. The real culprit is a microscopic organism called Clostridium tetani. These bacteria don't live on rust. They live in dirt, soil, and animal feces. They are literally everywhere, thriving in environments without oxygen. The only reason rust gets the blame is because of association. An old rusty nail is far more likely to have been lying around in the dirt, where the real danger lives. The bacteria are just using the rusty object as their personal Uber to get into your bloodstream. A shiny, brand new nail that you just dropped in your garden is infinitely more dangerous than a rusty nail that's been sitting in a clean, dry garage for a decade. The risk has nothing to do with oxidation and everything to do with location. These bacteria are anaerobes, meaning they despise fresh air like a vampire hates sunlight. This is why a deep puncture wound is their ideal home. It's a perfect oxygen-free hideout. Once inside, they release a toxin that disrupts the nervous system, causing the painful muscle-locking symptoms of tetanus, famously known as lockjaw. The simple fix is to keep your tetanus shots updated. Those dirt-dwelling bacteria don't care if the object that stabbed you is rusty, shiny, or bedazzled with diamonds. Next, a heartbreaking myth that has led to the death of countless innocent animals. The baby bird abandonment scam. You're walking in your yard and you see it. A tiny, fluffy baby bird hopping on the ground. Your brain screams, "Don't touch it." If you do, the mother will smell your human stench and abandon it forever. This is completely, unequivocally wrong. Most birds have a sense of smell that's about as effective as a brick. Their noses are practically decorative. You could marinate that baby bird in cologne, roll it in garlic butter, and dip it in perfume, and its mother wouldn't notice. Birds primarily recognize their young through sight and sound. Your human scent is completely invisible to them. So, by leaving the chick on the ground, you're not helping. In fact, you're dooming it. The real danger isn't your touch. It's the neighborhood cat, a dog, or simply exposure. Many of these birds found on the ground are not helpless orphans. They are fledglings. Think of them as teenagers taking their first awkward flight lessons. They are supposed to be on the ground, learning to fly under the watchful eye of their parents. If you find one, the best thing you can do is gently pick it up and place it back in its nest or on a high branch, safe from predators. You're not interfering. You're just giving a clumsy student a helping hand. From the animal kingdom, let's return to the mysteries of the human mind. The sleepwalker heart attack horror story. Never wake a sleepwalker. Your grandmother might have hissed. Their heart will explode. They'll have a stroke. Their soul will get lost outside their body. The truth is, waking a sleepwalker is about as medically dangerous as waking someone from a deep nap. The worst-case scenario is that they will be disoriented, confused, and maybe a little grumpy. The real danger lies in not waking them. Your sleepwalking roommate isn't peacefully strolling through a dreamscape. They are stumbling through your actual kitchen, surrounded by actual knives. Their brain is running on 10% battery, a state of partial arousal from deep sleep. They might decide it's time for a midnight snack and start handling sharp objects. They could wander into traffic, fall down a flight of stairs, or try to operate machinery. That is the actual nightmare scenario. This myth likely originated from ancient beliefs that sleep was a time when the soul left the body. Waking the person suddenly could, theoretically, prevent the soul from returning. In reality, gently guiding a sleepwalker back to bed or waking them up is the safest and most responsible thing to do. Now for a creature wrapped in a web of lies. The Daddy Longlegs venom conspiracy. It's one of the most persistent rumors in the world of creepy crawlies. The Daddy Longlegs is the most venomous spider on Earth, but thank goodness its fangs are too small to pierce human skin. This statement is a skyscraper of stupidity, wrong on multiple levels. First, the name Daddy Longlegs is used for at least 3 completely different animals, none of which pose any threat to humans. Let's meet the imposters. First is the harvestman. It has 8 long legs, but it's not a spider. It has no venom glands whatsoever. Its mouth is designed for nibbling on decaying plants. It is as deadly as a cotton ball. Second is the cellar spider. This one is a true spider, and it does have venom. But its venom is incredibly weak, designed to paralyze tiny insects like gnats. Trying to harm a human with it would be like trying to demolish a building with a rubber hammer. Studies have shown their tiny fangs can pierce human skin, but the venom's effect is negligible, causing less irritation than a mosquito bite. Finally, there's the crane fly, those clumsy mosquito-like insects that kamikaze into your porch light. They are flying idiots that can't even feed themselves, let alone bite a human. They have no venom and pose no threat. So, 3 harmless creatures are sharing the blame for a reputation they never earned. Let's dive into the ocean for our next myth. The shark swimming death sentence. Every ocean documentary seems to reinforce the idea. Sharks must constantly swim, or they will die. They are cursed to be perpetual motion machines, or they will suffocate. While this is true for a handful of shark species, the high-performance athletes, like the great white and mako, it's not the case for the vast majority. These specific sharks use a process called ram ventilation, meaning they must force water over their gills by swimming forward. However, most sharks have a built-in life support system. They can perform buccal pumping, using their cheek muscles to actively pull water into their mouths and over their gills. This allows them to breathe while remaining completely still. They can park themselves on the ocean floor and binge-watch the sea equivalent of Netflix. Nurse sharks are famous for sleeping in piles, like a heap of underwater puppies. Angel sharks are ambush predators that bury themselves in the sand, waiting motionless for hours. The myth likely started because the most dramatic, active sharks are the ones that get the most screen time. It's like assuming all humans are marathon runners because you only watch the Olympics. The truth is, most sharks are perfectly happy being couch potatoes. From the ocean depths, we go to the windows of old buildings. The melting window glass hoax. Walk into any medieval church, and someone will inevitably point to the wavy, distorted panes of glass. See how it's thicker at the bottom? They'll say with authority. That's because glass is actually a super slow-moving liquid. It's been oozing downward for centuries. This is profoundly wrong. Glass is an amorphous solid. It's rigid. If glass truly flowed, ancient Roman glass objects would be puddles by now, and telescope lenses would be useless. The real reason old window panes are thicker at the bottom is due to old manufacturing processes. Before modern, hyper-precise methods, glassmakers would create glass by spinning molten material into large, flat discs. The centrifugal force naturally made the edges of the disc thicker than the center. When they cut rectangular panes from this uneven disc, they had pieces of varying thickness. When installing them into a window frame, glaziers simply did the most logical thing. They put the thicker, heavier edge at the bottom for better stability. It's not a mystery of physics. It's a testament to common-sense medieval engineering. Finally, we journey to the desert to bust our last myth. The Great Camel Hump Water Myth. For centuries, it has been the ultimate symbol of desert survival. The camel's hump, a built-in water cooler. But if you were to slice open one of those iconic humps, you would find exactly 0 water, not a drop. Those humps are giant, concentrated lumps of fat. A single large hump can store up to 80 pounds of pure fatty tissue. This fat is a biological snack machine. When food is scarce, the camel's body metabolizes this fat for energy. As the fat is used up, the hump deflates and can even flop over to the side like a sad, empty bag. But here's the clever part. When the camel's body breaks down this fat, a chemical reaction produces water as a byproduct. So, in a way, The fat can be converted into water through metabolic magic. But the primary water storage isn't in the humps at all. When a camel drinks, it can consume over 30 gallons in just a few minutes. That water is absorbed into its bloodstream and tissues. Their red blood cells are specially designed to swell up to twice their normal size without bursting, turning their entire circulatory system into a highly efficient canteen. So there you have it. 9 pillars of common knowledge turned to dust. These myths show how easily misinformation can take root and become accepted as truth. The next time you hear an old wives' tale, take a moment to be skeptical. The truth is often far more fascinating than the fiction we're told. If this journey through fact and fiction blew your mind, be sure to subscribe. We have many more myths to bust and realities to explore. What's the biggest myth you used to believe? Let us know in the comments below.